Hey everyone, Fran here from the 5 Minute Modeler. Have you ever looked at your model railroad and thought, man, something's just not quite right? Maybe it looks a little flat, maybe a little too perfect, maybe a little toy-like. Well, today we're going to fix that. We're diving into the 6 most impactful scenic elements you can add to your layout to dramatically improve its realism, no matter the size. Whether you're building a massive around-the-room empire or a simple 4x8 roundy round, these pro tips will help you create a world that feels lived in and real. So let's jump right in. The first tip, in my opinion, is the most transformative thing you can do for your layout. Add a backdrop. A backdrop is your cheat code for creating the illusion of infinite distance. It's what turns your layout from a contained scene into a sprawling landscape. Think about it. In the real world, you can always see the horizon. A backdrop gives you that same sense of space. My favorite material is tempered masonite, but you can use anything from poster board to sheet styrene. A simple light blue coat of paint will automatically make your scene feel bigger. If you're feeling ambitious, you can paint distant hills and clouds, use photos, or even buy incredibly detailed pre-made backdrops. And always curve your corners. A sharp corner on a backdrop can be a huge distraction, but a gentle curve creates a seamless, panoramic view that completely pulls you into the scene. Now here's a pro tip. If you have a tabletop layout, consider using a backdrop to divide it into 2 distinct scenes. Our next tip gets to the very foundation of your layout, the land itself. I want you to look around you right now. I guarantee the ground isn't perfectly flat. The earth has hills, valleys, ditches, and slopes. So why do we so often create flat, table-like model railroads? When you're building your scenery, think like an architect or an engineer. Roads and railroads weren't built on perfectly level ground. They had to carve out cuts through hills and build bridges over valleys to maintain a reasonable grade. Even a simple grassy field has subtle undulations. Visualize where water would flow after a rainstorm. That's why we see drainage ditches alongside roads and railways. These small details add a tremendous amount of realism. By adding vertical rises and dips, you're not just building a layout, you're sculpting a miniature world. So we've talked about what's behind your layout, the backdrop, but what about the front? That's right, the very edge of the layout that's closest to you. A common mistake, especially on smaller layouts, is to have your tracks run perfectly parallel to that front edge. It creates a very unnatural, canned look, almost like a diorama in a museum. The key here is to break the parallel. By simply angling your tracks away from the edge, even a little, you create a dynamic, realistic scene. It gives the viewer a sense that the railroad continues on past the physical boundary of your layout. Now I know what you're thinking, but Fran, I don't have a lot of space. And you're right, this can be challenging on a small layout. But by making a slightly smaller plan to accommodate this change, you actually open up a ton of new scenic possibilities. You can angle a siding or a building or even a whole industry to create a more compelling view. It's a simple trick, but it will instantly set your layout apart and make it feel much larger and more realistic. Now here's a tough one for many of us, myself included. We want to cram as much as we can into our layouts. Every square inch needs a building, a siding, some detail, but this can actually make your railroad look more toy-like and less realistic. This is where the concept of negative space comes in. Negative space is an area of your layout that's deliberately left simple and unassuming, free of major structures or industries. It could be a farm field, a thick wooded area, or a winding river. By incorporating these quiet, nondescript areas, you create breathing room for your towns and industries. It gives the illusion that your railroad is part of a much larger world rather than just a collection of buildings. For a more personal tip, I suggest keeping the depth of your layout between 9 and 24 inches. It's not just easier to reach, but it also forces you to prioritize and create more impactful, focused scenes with less clutter. Our fifth tip is a simple yet powerful change. Abandon the monochrome. Most model kits and scenic materials come in a single solid color. But in the real world, nothing is one color. Look at a brick building. It's not just brick red, it's a mix of different shades of red, brown, black, and white. The same goes for nature. A field of grass isn't a single shade of green, it's a mosaic of different colors, textures, and heights. This is where you can have fun with paints, washes, and different layers of ground foam. Instead of using one bag of green flock, mix in a lighter shade, a darker shade, and maybe even a little brown or tan. The simple step adds incredible depth and authenticity to your scenes. Finally, my last tip is about thinking beyond the track and the trains. Think about the small details that make a place feel real. These are the details you might not even notice at first, but your brain picks up on them subconsciously. This includes things like a trash can on a street corner, a small pile of discarded lumber behind a building, or a subtle sign on a fence or billboard. It's also about adding small but impactful stories. Don't just place a car on a road, have someone getting out of it, or maybe a tiny scene with a dog and its owner, or a playground with children playing. These little vignettes tell a story and make your layout come alive. So these are my 6 tips for enhancing the realism of your model railroad. From backdrops and avoiding parallel tracks to negative space and small details, these techniques will help transform your layout from a collection of parts into a believable miniature world. If your layout is already built, it's not too late. These changes are often easier to make than you think. And remember, these ideas aren't original to me. They are proven methods used by modelers everywhere for years. So, I'd love to hear from you. What are some of your favorite techniques for adding realism to your layout? Or which of these tips are you most excited to try? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more tips from the 5-Minute Modeler. Thanks for watching, and happy modeling.